they celebrate and they encourage those acts. In fact, in the book of Kenya Kwanza players, Linturi is now their Messi. He's their star player. He is living true to the creed of Kenya Kwanza. Cause pain to Kenyans every single day. But prima facie, at the face of it, we are dealing with a culprit. This is someone who has been indicted. He's been found culpable. He has a case to answer. He belongs to the gallows.
Well, a very good day to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another interesting episode of the Candy Talk here on Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. It's a pleasure to have you on board on Kenya's most comprehensive political and public governance analysis show. My name is Evans Okinyi. It's a pleasure to have you on board this fine afternoon. I'm joined by Wakili Willis Otieno. How are you, sir?
Fine, thank you. How are you doing?
Welcome to the show. I'm quite okay.
Thank you very much.
Still hitting the ground, looking at how things are taking place in this country, together with my crew, and just being able to explain to our viewers and enabling them to understand all that is taking place within our country. So far, so good. A lot of things have happened, beginning from, of course, we are having the fertilizer and soil summit, of course, soil health summit taking place in Nairobi here, that is there. Let's begin from this part that has not actually gone well with Kenyans. A number of them, of course, have seen the cabinet secretary in charge of agriculture say that he will attend the Africa Fertilizer and Soil Summit and speak at that particular event. We're not so much sure whether he will speak, but going by that, he said he will. What does this mean for you? Do you share in the aspirations of the other Kenyans?
The first thing is what is called an oxymoron. That is an oxymoron. CS Linturi has been indicted by Parliament for mismanaging the fertilizer scheme that Kenya Kwanza government came up with.
Yes.
The oxymoron is when he purports to attend a national conference to speak about fertilizer. He's been indicted. The House has, in an almost unanimous vote, indicted him, found him culpable, that warrants that he should be impeached. CS Linturi, at this particular point in time, should be tendering his resignation as a CS in the Republic of Kenya. Barring that, he should be at the top of KICC, attempting to commit suicide for the public shame of what he has done to Kenyans. He has messed up our agricultural productivity in this coming planting season. You've seen some of the images of the crops that are planted using this so-called subsidized fertilizer. They are stunted. And yet, he has the audacity to appear, to purport to address an international forum to speak about fertilizer, when he has superintended over the greatest haste on the farming population in the history of this nation, selling them soil, cow dung, and donkey shit as fertilizer, just for him to make money. We do not have people with faces in Kenya Kwanza. It is shame on him to even think he can appear in public. He should not be seen in public at this point in time. He has been indicted, not just by Azimio members, but the totality of the House has indicted him. Where does he get this confidence? This is what I call the courage of a fool.
Wakili, as far as we are concerned, by the time that we are actually producing this particular show, the Parliament, of course, that motion was tabled before Parliament to have him impeached. Yeah? And investigations are still going on.
I am telling you, that's what I'm calling it. He has been indicted. A difference between indictment and impeachment. Parliament is satisfied at this particular point that there's sufficient cause that warrants his removal That is why that motion was passed.
But you've also said he's been found culpable.
No, yes, he's been indicted. There is sufficient cause.
Okay.
What now remains is removal. So you start by indicting. A former organ of the state has indicted him, has found sufficient cause to warrant his removal from office. The second phase is the removal. So he goes before the select committee, responds to the allegations, and the committee makes a recommendation. But prima facie, at the face of it, we are dealing with a culprit. This is someone who has been indicted. He's been found culpable. He has a case to answer. He belongs to the gallows. If it was the olden days at Uhuru Park, we should not be allowing him to address a press conference. It's just because of Kenya Kwanza that he has the face to appear and purport to talk on an issue on which he has been indicted.
Okay.
In other working countries, Linturi should now be 6 feet under. He should have committed suicide. Doesn't have to wait to go through the public humiliation. But they have thick skins. He wants to be dragged through that process, which we will do. There is no question, there is no doubt that the fertilizer scheme was messed up. There is no doubt that Linturi was the CS in charge. He must take both moral, legal, and political responsibility for that mess up. They sold to Kenyans limestones and some funny substances in the name of fertilizer. Do you allow such a person to address a national conference? That is a person who should have left here like yesterday, not even today. What are we doing still wasting time? Giving him an audience. In fact, Kenyans who will attend that conference, you will ask themselves, why should he even address us? I urge them, if there's any Kenyan in that meeting that is going to attend, when Linturi stands up to speak, they should turn their back on him. He will address them from behind. They look the opposite direction. So that we send a strong message that we do not condone or give credence to this act of impunity. To sit in that conference, those delegates will be lending credence to impunity of a suspect who has been indicted by the highest legislative organ and oversight institution to the executive. They have found him culpable, that he warrants to be subjected to an inquisitorial process that leads to his removal. That is where we are. There is no defense for Linturi. The only defense Linturi has is to resign. Hiyo tu, hakuna ingine.
Wakili, make me understand it. What was the purpose of the formation of that particular parliamentary committee to investigate actually the kind of allegations that have been brought forth against the agriculture CS?
The select committee is not to look at the particulars, the details, and to accord him an opportunity to respond. Fair hearing. But prima facie, at the face of it, based on the evidence presented, Linturi is culpable. That's what Parliament said. Why wait to take us through this process? Why not do the honorable thing and resign? You can live to fight another day. I told you when you started these shows, that fertilizer thing was a scam from the beginning. What was intended to be addressed? Was it food security? And if it was food security, what were the measures you are intending to partake that will lead to food security? You will have done soil testing, farmer training, identify the fertilizer, identify which crops need to be planted, identify post-harvest procedures, identify a market. All that was not done. This whole fertilizer thing was to hoodwink Kenyans that we are doing a project on fertilizer to achieve food security, but the real intention was to profit. Steal from Kenyans. That's what they did. They took fertilizer, mixed with sand, limestone, whichever other substance they could think of.
Who did this?
The executive, Kenya Kwanza, did that.
Okay.
Sold it to Kenyans. So they will take 10 kilograms of fertilizer, mixed with some fake substance, soil, to make it 50. So you're buying 50 kg of soil at the price of 50 kg of fertilizer. That is why you look at the crops, stunted growth.
And somebody would
Yellowing.
If at all the entire government organ, you talk of the executive, you talk of Kenya Kwanza, is to blame for this kind of mess that we're witnessing in our agricultural sector, then why would you nail one man on the cross?
Because ultimately, at this particular point, he bears the political responsibility because he's the CS in charge. But the ultimate person who bears responsibility is one William Ruto. He's the head of the executive. If he cannot sack Linturi, then he's an accessory to the fact. They are one and the same. He bears political responsibility for that mess in the fertilizer scandal. And he should also take the political responsibility. I pity Kenyans who think there's something good will come out of these people. These people are to be sent to the gallows. They don't belong to where they are. All that they've promised us and that they've delivered is pain every single day. Tomorrow's pain is more than today's pain. Today's pain is more than yesterday's pain. I guarantee. Why are you wasting time? The fish got rotten from the head. These ones are just fingerlings, rotten fingerlings. But the mother fish is rotten. Everybody else down here is rotten. Why has he not sacked Linturi? Why has he not faced criminal investigations and prosecution? Why is there no prosecution of Linturi? To do investigations? Everybody knows the fertilizer is fake. Everybody knows farmers bought fake fertilizer. Everybody knows that's a government project. Everybody knows the company that supplied it. In fact, Kel Chemicals has come out clearly to tell their side of the story. They sold genuine fertilizer. They've been in this country for more than 50 years, selling fertilizer, manufacturing and selling fertilizer. They've given the information to government. They've even said, look here, we only supplied this much fertilizer. What you are saying was supplied is more than what you supplied. So who mixed the product? It's the ministry. Don't even go for cabs here. Go for the minister. Hang him. Take him to jail. That is where he belongs. The only place Linturi squarely belongs in this republic is Committee Maximum Remand Prison. Maximum security prison. That's the only place he belongs. He doesn't even belong to his home. He belongs to prison. He should be there, like yesterday. Once he's jailed, we look for his accomplices and those who are accessories to the fact of this act. Farmers are going to lose their harvest. It's going to affect people's livelihoods. People will not be able to pay school fees, hospital bills, to feed themselves. They will die. You don't have to say someone has committed murder when they literally kill someone else. You've committed murder when you do an act that by its nature is going to lead to deaths. This farmer with a patient in hospital that did not access health services because their crop failed, that patient is going to die. Who has killed the patient? You want to say it is the healthcare workers? No. It's the person who made it impossible for the patient to access healthcare services. This patient could have accessed healthcare services if the fertilizer was proper. The harvest would have been proper. They will have made money to pay for health. We must go that deep and hold people culpable, not just for the loss of money. It should go to death. They've committed acts of murder. And we need to articulate and bring out all those who died because they were not able to pay healthcare services. They couldn't pay healthcare services because their livelihood is farming. They couldn't pay from their farming because their crop failed. Their crop failed because of the fertilizer. Create a nexus and go for people's necks.
Here we are. Why are you throwing away the principle of assumption of innocent until proven guilty when it comes to the CS?
I have simply said, let him be taken through that process.
Okay. But already you're here
I have
hanging
said,
and saying he
because
belongs to the
they are,
gallows.
they are what we said, facts which cannot be disputed. Are we denying that there were fertilizers? There was a fertilizer program by the government. It was there. Are we denying fake fertilizer was supplied to farmers? No. Are we denying that farmers are now facing stunted growth on their crops? Not denied. Are we denying they're losing their livelihoods? Not denied. Are we denying, is there any challenge that Linturi is the menace? Not denied. What are you waiting for?
Okay.
Drag him to the gallows, my friend. Hang him.
Would you be surprised if that does not happen?
I will not be.
Linturi survives.
I will not be surprised, because that is what Kenya Kwanza is. They celebrate and they encourage those acts. In fact, in the book of Kenya Kwanza players, Linturi is now their Messi. He's their star player. He's living true to the creed of Kenya Kwanza. Cause pain to Kenyans every single day. Every day a Kenyan wakes up, he must feel pain from Kenya Kwanza. That is what Linturi has done to us. So in Kenya Kwanza, they are celebrating him. They are very happy with him. That is who they are. That's what they believe in. That's what they stand for. He's a hero in their circles. He's made the money, he's caused us pain.
Africa Fertilizer and Soil Health Summit, definitely a very important event. Therefore, I believe it has been organized, of course, by the Ministry of Agriculture. That should actually be at the forefront, because this actually touches at the heart of the ministry, and agriculture being the background of the backbone of this particular country and helping driving our economy forward. Whom then would you expect to actually address and lead in that particular summit when the agriculture CS is being faced with such kind of scandals and all that? How should the government actually balance this so that at the end of the day, this summit is somehow productive to us as a nation?
The theme of the summit should be supplying fake fertilizer to farmers. That should have been the theme.
Why?
Yeah, that's what they've done. Who supplied the fake fertilizer to farmers? They should call it Africa Fake Fertilizer Summit. Yeah. Same government, same ministry supplied it. He's not privateers who supplied. It was a government project. So they should change the theme of the conference to the African Summit on Fake Fertilizer Project to make yourself rich. Then sell it to the rest of Africa, because they've done it here successfully. Because if your engagement on fertilizer, the latest, was to supply fake fertilizer to farmers, where do you get the moral high ground to convene a conference to discuss? So you discuss what you've successfully done. They have successfully supplied fake fertilizer. So go and showcase it to the continent. The Ministry of Agriculture should go and showcase their latest intervention, a successful delivery of fake fertilizer to Kenyans, so the rest of Africa can borrow from it. That's what they've done.
Do you think we can get a complete departure from what the rest of Kenyans are actually thinking from this particular summit, that somehow it could be beneficial to us?
But let me ask you, Okinyi, when you go to a summit like that, so you give your case studies, your scenarios, what you've lived through. You share your best experiences. What is their best experiences on fertilizer? They were able to buy from Kel Chemicals, genuine fertilizer, drove to Kariandusi, packaged with some fake things, and rolled out a program to farmers across the country. See, they go and tell that to the international community at the summit. That's what they've done. That's their report card. Because you are sharing experiences. Go and do it there. Stop lying to Africans that you are running a successful program on fertilizer distribution. You're telling them what you've not done. Tell them what you've done. Showcase it. Market it. Invite other African countries to do the same model. Just buy genuine, mix with donkey shit, and then give the unsuspecting farmer. Lie to them it's good fertilizer to get political capital while you make money. Don't care about their losses when the crops fail. That's what they should be doing.
Okay. Well, let's wait and see the kind of course, benefits that perhaps the country might accrue from that particular summit. But here we are, of course, you've heard how Wakil Willis Otieno has actually spoken about what is taking place here with regards to that particular summit. And of course, the confirmed attendance of the agriculture CES, of course, one of the embattled cabinet members in this particular country there. You can weigh in on this conversation and tell us what you think about that as well. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to stop this conversation at this particular moment. But if at all you're watching us for the first time, kindly subscribe to this channel here and stay tuned to some of our programs that will be coming up next year. Definitely all these are productions of Nairobi Review. Till we have this conversation again, have yourself a lovely day. My name is Evans. Okay.